The road in between Budo and Kyengera caved in on Saturday night due to the heavy downpour that washed away part of the road, leading to diversion of traffic. UNRWA Regional Manager Central, Julius Musenguze, told UBC that the road caved in due to the water pressure arising from human activities on the swamp.
The material may not have been weak as such, but only that it was overwhelmed by the volumes of water, and there was infiltration of water into it. I think because of land use and what, the water now is concentrating more on this place because they have filled in some parts, so the water has come. As you can see before, I think this swamp was a little bit big and it was spread, so the water would pass easily with the drainage structure they had put in place. But now, after filling everywhere, water is now concentrated in a small place, so we need to change the structures now.
He says UNRWA has assembled stronger material to encounter the water pressure to avoid a reoccurrence of the incident.
We are trying to install a culvert in that section and backfill it properly, so that by end of today, we hope people should be able to use the road.
Due to the emergence of the road, restoration works are expected to be complete within 24 hours.
We are working tooth and nail to see that the vehicles pass. So there's a lot of traffic here. You can see even how people are jammed. So we have to restore it in the shortest possible time.
The Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety has asked the general public to use alternative routes to access and exit the city as repair works are done.
We appeal to the public to exercise discipline and patience and follow the directives of traffic personnel on ground.
The diversion has caused heavy traffic jam, paralyzing business along Masaba Road, leaving alternative and feeder routes banged up in heavy traffic.
I appeal to the government institutions, more importantly the UNRWA, to play their role in time. The road is impassable. There is another road which would help us to decongest this jam, that is Nakauka Road. But it has appeared in many different budgets, but all in vain. If Nakauka Road had been constructed, maybe this situation would not be as it is.
This has led to double transport fares by both passenger vehicles and border borders.
Okuva emayo kutuuka wano ku Kyennakasozi bandeetedde 13. Kati ate okuva wano okweyongera e Kampala owa boda ngambye omutwalo gumu n'ekitundu. Ngamba kiki kino.
Busiro, Member of Parliament Medad Segona, has called upon government to work on access roads to reduce pressure on the main road.
For UNRWA and government, we've been telling them to work on these feeder roads, these connecting roads. First, these are security roads, because if you keep people in a jam here and a suicide bomber or a terrorist came, he would kill 1,000 people between Busega and Kyengera.
He further called for enforcement of wetland conservation by reining on the untouchables that are encroaching on Gazette wetlands.
You spend $1 billion refilling a wetland to put up a storied building. That's not civility, that's not civilization. So we must start with human action.
On the contrary, the alternative Wachimese Kyengera Budo access road is also gradually caving in due to heavy traffic. The access road is being washed away due to the water pressure from the swamp.
Kigoma kyo kyaguddemukko side emu naye nga emmotoka zasigadde ziyita side emu. Tujja kusaba aba traffic basobole okubeera nga bajja okudirecting emmotoka zino tuleme kweyongera funa bubenje ku luguudo luno.
Apparently, police has issued a travel advisory for exit and entry into Kampala that include Katende to Nakauka roundabout through Kasenge to Natete, Nakauka to Entebbe through Kisubi, off Budo Kasenge Lweza to Entebbe traffic lights, Katende Mabuye Bujuko to Mityana Road. Susan Naung and Juma Masaba reporting for UBC TV.
The Global Initiative Against Transnational Organized Crime report has rated Uganda 7th with the high crime rates in Africa. With this, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions and Development Partners have called for collective efforts in the fight against crime. This was during the opening of a 3-day annual prosecutors symposium in Kampala.
Follow that.
Prosecutors attached to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions from various parts of the country and other prosecuting agencies such as IGG are attending an annual symposium to enhance prosecution of organized crimes. Organized and emerging crimes include drug trafficking, cyber crimes, trafficking in children, human trafficking, money laundering, among others. Uganda ranks 7th in Africa on organized crimes. Development partners say a lot needs to be done to curb organized crime.
When it comes to drug trafficking, Uganda is a transit and destination country for drug smugglers, particularly heroin and cocaine.
Seeing a number of children at different traffic lights begging. These children are clear signs, are evidence of child trafficking that is taking place. It's a serious crime that would still require more of effective prosecution.
Lady Justice Jane Francis Abodo, the Director of Public Prosecutions, was the chief guest and she officiated the symposium. The 3-day annual prosecutors symposium in Kampala is on the theme strengthening the capacity for prosecution to counter organized and emerging crimes. Justice Abodo highlighted on the challenges affecting prosecution of criminal cases in the country.
Crime is changing. It's changing all the time. Actually, it will be an understatement to say every minute. It is changing. You blink and just change 3 times. Uganda's location and high levels of corruption, it makes it a safe haven for commission of all types of crime.
She urged prosecutors to utilize the conference and join a better service to Ugandans.
I don't want to see you talking to the same people that you are from Kampala region, you're there talking together. No, I want you to get someone and talk to someone from Amuru, someone with utmost humility, with transparency, integrity, and of course, patriotism.
A call for more strategic policies and legal frameworks to deal with perpetrators of organized crime was also made during the conference.
We are working to support a mechanism for the review of the implementation of the UN Convention Against Transnational and Organized Crime and the protocols. This will be a review of our own processes and systems to see how effective we are.
We are partnering with the government of Uganda to develop a national strategy against organized crime.
Rebecca Nantongo, Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Police has directed its territorial commanders to take action on private security companies violating standard licensing regulations. Upon registration of tremendous increase in gun violence incidents by private security guards, police have revoked 7 company licenses and suspended 20.
Uganda Police Force has instructed territorial police commanders to take action against the increasing cases of gun violence among private security companies.
On a number of occasions, we've seen lone armed private security guards negligently carry their guns. Others loiter aimlessly with their guns. Others use borders, which are all risky methods. We've directed all our territorial commanders to arrest individual errant security guards in breach of the guidelines that we gave them.
Private security companies' proprietors are reminded to revise licensing set statutory guidelines and accord required compliance.
Also compiling and sharing data on concerning behaviors. We've talked about disqualification and cancellation of security guards from possessing or receiving firearms. We are also carrying out better auditing processes or features at the Department of the Private Security Organization and Civilian Firearms.
In different operations to crack down errant security guards, police arrested some officers, revoking 7 licenses and suspending 20 companies from operation.
We have 7 private security organizations that are being vetted with the intentions of having the licenses cancelled. Then an additional 20 private security organizations are also being evaluated for suspension for a period so that they can comply with the guidelines that we've given them.
Police also accused the private security companies of manipulating police uniforms and those of the army.
But this is illegal. and it must stop immediately. For private security organizations, the regulations are very clear that we gave to them. And even for other individuals and groups, the unauthorized duplication and manipulation of rank insignia and accoutrements of the police and other sister agencies like the UPDF and prison services, the police is a violation of the laws.
A new curriculum to ensure the training and release of qualified private security guards has been released. Meanwhile, the territorial police in Arua have apprehended a 43-year-old Ajal Victor Adami for impersonating as a staff from Ministry of Education and Sports and defrauding of 35 staff members of 35 million shillings for job placement and promotions.
We took swift action, tracked down the suspect and managed to arrest him. So Ajal Victor Adami was apprehended. We are processing him for personation of education officials from the Ministry of Education and for obtaining money by false pretense from 35 teaching and directive staff.
Abdunasili Lobwama and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
The Uganda People's Defence Forces, that's the UPDF, has retired 150 senior officers from 13th batch at the Ministry of Defence and Veterans Affairs headquarters in Buea. General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the CDF, presided over the function and urged the retirees to maintain discipline. Among the retired are 23 full colonels, 88 at the rank of lieutenant colonel, and 39 majors.
Sacrifice is too great. The officers and men of the UPDF have demonstrated this commitment to serve the country over decades and through countless operations. The young soldiers and officers you are leaving behind, serving in Operation Shujaa, in Somalia, in Karamoja, and other places, are carrying forward this noble tradition. We are proud of them for following in our footsteps. Today, we also remember the glorious comrades who died protecting Uganda from rebellions and terrorism. May their memories live forever. So congratulations once again for completing your service and for being able to walk out of these gates with good and clean records. However, you must already know that for some professions like ours, one never really retires. Being a soldier is not a job like other jobs. It is a vocation, it is a calling. You do not hear of a monk or a priest retiring. They can step back from a full-time assignment, like being a parish priest, but theirs is a lifelong commitment to the church.
Traders downtown Kampala justified last week's closure of their shops, the strike that started from 16th to the 19th of April, asserting that it was important to compel government to act on what they deem as a repressive tax regime on their businesses. Wadulo Arnold explores how much both traders and taxmen could have lost within the 4-day strike.
Of course we closed because we are part of the business community.
The shop closed down last week by traders in downtown Kampala could not have missed losses, as traders observe government's next steps in addressing the high taxes levied on their businesses. Olivia Nalugo owns and operates a beddings shop on the monumental Mini Price building located in the heart of downtown Kampala. She justifies the strike for the survival of her business and wonders why government had to wait for traders to act against the repressive taxes in spite of not educating them about IFRIS.
Nayenga IFRIS tetujigana naye chetwebuuza nti oyagala nfulumye receipt yeyo nga ntaddeko 18%, naye nga ne gye mbiguze gye nabiguze nayo nataddeko 18%. Kitegeeza nti ngenda kusasula 18% eyo emirundi n'emirundi.
On trying to probe on how much a shop trader averagely earns and spends in a month, Ivan Mawanda, operating an electronics shop on Market Street's Platinum House, preferred not to disclose his books.
Just know it's some good money. And as per traders, I know that's the kind of information IFRIS is trying to look for. But at times it's better not to disclose.
After probing more on why he opts not to disclose, he finally explains a regular scheme traders often use to make a sale.
I get a customer, I don't have the item, I'll pick it from the neighbor. So it means I'm not going to put that money in my what? In my books. So it will be the neighbor's books. That VAT is supposed to be paid from the starting point, either the manufacturer or the importer.
A trader operating a ground shop like Nalugo's of more than 100 square meters and above on a mall in downtown Kampala pays rent between 5 to 16 million shillings per month.
Olunaku fete tusijja gamba sente zenkoze naye wabula nkugamba nti mbambala nti rent ni olunaku waki nnokola sente bweziti nzijjeko rent, nzijjeko abaana benkozesa, nzijjeko transport, nzijjeko buli kimwe, at least nfiseewo okwo nsuubule. Naye kati okuva lockdown bwe yajja tetukyayina mbalirira ntuufu, tubalirira rent na mmere.
We also had a chance to speak to Ibrahim Bossa, URA's corporate affairs manager, on phone about revenue Uganda lost from the 4-day strike.
Businesses file returns every end of the month. And when we talk about end of the month, it is the 15th day of the next month after end of that month. Yes, so right now, because we are not collecting VAT right now, unless the people who, say for example, today is 22nd. We have to wait for 15th of next month to know how this period has affected VAT.
Considering that the URA computes value-added tax on the 15th of every month, it is still too early to know how much the taxman lost during the 4 days they were on the close-down strike. Wadulo Mark Arnold for UBC News in downtown Kampala.
Inzuya Masaba Cultural Institution has called upon all local governments in the region to come up with ordinances to regulate gambling in the region. The Umkuka Mdoma says that over 1,000 university students in Masaba land lost their tuition in gambling, and an event that compromised realization of their desired dreams, which causes a loss to parents.
Highness the Umukuka Masaba, Jude Mike Mudoma, has said Masaba land is likely to lose out on its transformation agenda if local leadership fails to combine efforts and regulate gambling.
This is a terrible thing and very destructive to our young generation, who have become addicted to betting. Over 1,000 students from Micheal University lost their academic progression last year because they gambled their tuition fees and their future has been curtailed because of betting. I appeal to leaders to come up with ordinances to check on this device.
Speaking to Masaba during a prayer breakfast at Unzu ya Masaba offices in Maluku, Mbale City, the Masaba cultural leader also expressed concern on the skyrocketing fathers' absence from homes, leading to single parenting.
Masaba, our community will need to address the vital importance of paternal presence in children's lives. It is noted that single parents have increased from 20% to 30% by 2023. Father absence from homes has serious implications ranging from undisciplined children leading to destroyed social fabric of society.
The Umkuka asserted that fathers deserting homes facilitates an increased number of children flocking the city streets.
They do lack moral guidance among them and also have lower life prospects than their peers brought up in two-parent families. The street children and those in remand homes are because of the single parenting. I want Mama to take that on with the seriousness it deserves.
The Umukuka encouraged leaders to sensitize electorates to embrace the forthcoming national census due in May.
The population census is in May. This is a very important exercise where I invite all clan leaders and local government officials to sensitize communities to ensure that all citizens take this exercise very seriously and mobilize people to be counted. Once we know our population, as Masaba, is going to be great asset to us as a cultural institution in decision-making processes in terms of focused development and economic transformation.
And live with a sheep without a harm. Father, I pray so bring peace here. You said, oh God.
Losing her mother was a deeply painful experience for Cecilia Ogwal's daughter, Dr. Rosemary Alwoch Ogwal. Losing an election to replace her mother added another layer of grief, but also brought mixed feelings. Today, UBC's Eddie Olua brings you Dr. Ogwal's story 1 month after the Dokolo by-election. Dr. Ogwal is now a dairy farmer at her ancestral home in Adok, Dokolo district.
1 month has passed since the Dokolo by-election and the dust of defeat hasn't settled entirely. Yet for Dr. Rosemary Alwoch Ogwal, a different kind of harvest is underway.
I'm here now.
Having fallen short in her bid to succeed her mother Cecilia Ogwal, Dr. Alwoch has returned to her roots and is now involved in dairy farming.
The daughter of a chief. Yeah.
We followed her to her ancestral home in Adok, Dokolo district, where the farm is located.
This cow.
The farm boasts over 100 cattle, including both indigenous and Frisian breeds.
And the Frisian cows don't fare so well in our conditions, so we're trying to do a bit of an interbreeding program. This is a mixed breed bull.
Among them stands a particularly imposing cow, a gift from the First Lady to Dr. Alwoch's late mother.
I mean, she's almost as tall as I am. This cow particularly likes to be milked to music. So when you play music, then she's more relaxed and she gives you far more.
This farm is a model of efficiency. Green pasture stretches as far as the eyes can see. Automated machines chop the fodder and also deliver fresh water to the herd.
Extra feed reserves for the dry season for the cows to keep them safe and happy.
It is indeed a far cry from the political corridors of power Dr. Alwoch once envisioned navigating.
And we continue to acquire more dairy cattle to make the home more stable and to give us an income out of that. So that's what I'm currently working on right now when I'm not involved in politics.
Farming for Dr. Alwoch is more than just a career path. It is a homecoming.
All the way to 2026. So that was what was in my mind. So I saw my mom's vision crumble before my eyes. But I knew that the only people who could give me the mandate to fulfill it were the people of Doholo.
A firstborn child of the late Cecilia Gwala, she studied and worked in the UK for over 30 years. Now she wants to make a positive impact on her community in Dokolo district.
As a legislator who was very impassioned in her speeches, most people might not remember that she lost her first election. So the way that I view it is that I lost my first election, just like my mother did. And, I'm still here. I'm still consulting people about next steps. But one of the things that I'm doing is very much working in the community to see how we can build up the community of Doholo. For me, it's a feeling of nostalgia.
She believes that identity politics played a role in her disadvantage.
I wasn't considered one of them, a child of Doholo. To many of them I was. I mean, I got over 8,000 votes, having been a politician of just a few weeks. So I am proud of them.
While working abroad, Dr. Alwach was assaulted and sustained injuries that affected her mobility. However, during the campaign trail, she says she experienced a miraculous healing.
And I've been telling people jokingly that my mother took her politics to heaven, and she pleaded for me to be healed. So I, my mobility is significantly better now. Losing my mother.
Though the path to political service may have taken an unexpected turn, Dr. Alwach maintains that her commitment to Dokolo remains intact.
Now is inside of me.
Northern Uganda remains one of the poorest regions in the country. The government has since implemented significant affirmative action programs, especially after the LRA civil war. Dr. Alwach believes more creative interventions are needed in the area.
Agriculture, fishing, they're the backbone, but it needs funding. People do need funding in order to meet their potential.
Before we left our farm, we wanted to know what our next course of action is besides agriculture.
I'm still consulting people about next steps.
Edi Olwa, UBC News.
Government-aided secondary school teachers and learners in Kagadi have embraced the new lower secondary curriculum through various hands-on skills and innovative projects to help learners become job creators by making liquid soap, charcoal stoves, sanitary towels, and improvised electrical appliances.
We want you to leave this place.
The Buyaga Area UNEB supervisor, also head teacher of Kagadi Government Aided Secondary School, Ramadan Nyondo Barongo, says most teachers have welcomed the new UNEB learners assessment and project implementation in lower secondary to enable students become self-reliant and job creators.
The lower secondary school curriculum, since it is highly engaging and it is aiming at producing products, and those products are earning them some money, and they are proud of their products in various subjects. So as a school we are blessed by having.
Wilfred Mbabazi, the head of ICT and projects at Kagadi Government Aided Senior Secondary School Center, has been training teachers about learners assessment and project formulation.
We have been training our teachers on assessment in the new curriculum. We had this training, this has been the fourth training since we started this year. We want to have continuous professional development for our teachers so that we can ably implement the secondary school, lower secondary school curriculum that is now having candidates in senior 4.
We went and collected bottles, and more so in the process of collecting bottles, he guided us and we helped. We carried them, we brought them in school. He told us that some of the procedures that we can use to come up with a complete dustbin out of bottles is that we can as well collect money in the group that we have so far formed. Collect money or contribute some money. Then thereafter we go to town and we buy some of the materials like binding wires, rings. Because of the bottle that we went and collected, it is no longer materials that it is going to be among of the cost income that we are supposed to purchase.
A section of innovative students and their teachers from the Science and Arts Department as well as associations of girl, child and patriotism clubs, made liquid soap, charcoal stoves, reusable sanitary pads and medical devices like thermometers.
We thank you so much for watching. It's UBC News Tonight. We'll take a short break. On return, we'll have business news.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar! My boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock on my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting it. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Gold. We all want it. That soft yellow glow with subdued sun in your hands. That precious polish of elegance. To hold it is one thing, but to taste it is everything else. Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality, unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalippagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited, erunganisibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda.
We've hit refresh with Castle Lights. A premium new look. With the shiny silver label. An innovative cold indicator. A premium green neck label for a crisp and easy drinking beer. Fresh new look. Experience the fresh Newcastle Light.
UBC Business News Tonight. The People's Republic of Korea is facilitating trainings for farmers on mindset change, equip them with modern training technologies, engage in commercial and value addition. The country director, Koika Uganda, Jihi An, was handing over the 80 million shillings volunteer projects to improve National Farmers Leadership Center education environment at Kampidingisa in PG District.
This is National Farmers Leadership Center Kampidingisa in PG District, donated to the government of Uganda by the Republic of South Korea to equip farmers on mindset change and modern agricultural technologies in order to realize socio-economic transformation. President Yoweri Museveni commissioned the center in 2016, and many extension agriculture workers have been trained. After the improvement of the National Farmers Leadership Center education environment, the 80 million shillings Koika volunteer projects have been handed over to the center in Impigi district. The Koika volunteer projects have been handed over by the country director, Jihi Aha. Kyengera promised on the basis of friendship with the two sister countries, Korea will support Uganda's agriculture sector to get farmers into commercial agriculture and value addition.
I humbly urge you to utilize and maintain the equipment with a sense of ownership, as the sustainability of these advancements relies heavily on your continued dedication. In closing, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the principal and the training center staff who steadfastly supported us throughout the project.
The Commissioner of Crop Inspection and Certification Services in the Ministry of Agriculture, Paul Mwambo, commended Korea for the support.
And today, without doubt, from my own assessment, this is one of the most developed countries, I think, in the world. South Korea. You look there, you reach there, and you completely discover that people can be deliberate on doing something very nice. So to see the Korean government through Koika trying to come and work with us, we should take this support very seriously, because through it, if we take certain deliberate actions like they did it, I believe we shall be able to make it.
The Principal National Farmers Leadership Center in Mpigi, Okwaja John Bosco, says these facilities will double their efforts of training more.
If we open the commercial wing of the farm, because the plan is to have 10,000 birds and 20 dairy cows, and then also about 1,000 pigs. If we are given that infrastructure and is equipped, that's where we are going to generate money that will make this institution self-sustaining, and also to achieve the project dream of the institution being 70% self-sustaining.
Mary Namkose, Fred Kasibante, UBC News.
In Uganda's persistent revenue deficits, expanding the country's revenue base is a strategic imperative. One venue to achieve this is through harnessing the potential industries that are currently underdeveloped. And among these is the creative industry, a powerhouse to be unleashed.
Despite receiving only modest investment, Uganda's creative industry already directly and indirectly employs over 2 million people across various sectors such as art, music, dance, drama, and fashion. Recent estimates peg Uganda's creative industry at a value of $1.5 billion, but experts believe its true potential could surpass $3 billion.
So we have a shortfall of at least 1.5 million jobs below the potential that we could be working on. We are aware as Private Sector Foundation of the critical challenges that affect the fashion industry, but generally also the creative sector, some of which includes access to capital, access to markets.
The gap between current performance and projected growth underscores the urgency of nurturing and expanding this sector.
There was such bad press around fashion design, being a fashion designer, and everyone attached it to something that was dirty, very improper in a way. And I know that they stood through all of that, they went through all of that, and they succeeded.
Recognizing the need for concerted action, stakeholders are now rallying to address the barriers hindering the industry's growth. At the PSFU Kateli event held recently in Jinja, the spotlight fell squarely on the creative industry with a particular emphasis on the fashion sector. Fashion designers and other stakeholders took the stage, identifying key challenges and proposing actionable solutions to propel the industry forward.
We need more institutions that can teach these young people who have the passion for fashion, so that they can come out of those institutions when they know what to do. And then maybe we can just mentor them and maybe teach them a few things, but when they already know what they are doing.
So we're fighting our own battles. And then when you win, it's suddenly Uganda. But if you code and you have means and ways, why don't we come back down and say, now that you know that the creative industry is really powerful and can actually really get us there, how have we supported? For those at least, the 20% that will be willing to work, will be willing to put in the effort, how about we support them?
PSFU has pledged to collaborate with like-minded stakeholders to tackle these obstacles head-on and transform the creative industry into a vibrant engine of economic prosperity for both individuals and the nation.
At an individual level, we can definitely do that. So, for example, today, apart from my shoes, I am made in Uganda. I myself.
Laura Nagaba and Dennis Sigoa, UBC News.
I'm Kaylee with the very special weather report. From up there to down here, everything is crazy. If we don't listen to scientists, things are going to be even crazier when I grow up. Let's look at the forecast for 2050. Heat waves will affect 94% of children, making playing outside a thing of the past. Extreme droughts will wipe out wheat crops, killing the one food my brother eats, bread. Disasters will cost taxpayers almost $6 trillion. My parents hate taxes. Of course, all of this is caused by a blanket of heat-trapping pollution in the atmosphere that we could just, not put up there. But don't worry, there's still a chance of clear skies. Right now, clean energy systems are moving in from the east to the west, creating tons of cool jobs. And solar prices have dropped lower than oil and gas. Going to the satellite, it looks like a high-pressure system of grown-ups could still move in and protect kids from an avalanche of really bad stuff. Some gusty political winds ahead, but they're no match for the power of Hurricane Felicia. That's my mom. We'll keep you posted as we track if adults stop wasting time and fix this totally solvable problem. Because it's not just a weather report to us, it's our future.
The 2024 Uganda Boxing National Open has commenced at the National Sports Headquarters in Lugogo. The event started with weigh-ins and medical examinations, seeing a remarkable turnout of 410 boxers, including 60 female athletes representing over 40 clubs. The competition, spanning several categories, including elite, youth and juniors, promises intense bouts and fierce rivalries as fighters vie for Boxing Champions League and national team slots. The top two boxers from each weight category will earn the opportunity to compete in the Champions League and equally have bragging rights to the national team. That is all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Micheal Jordan Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakona and the whole team. Wish you the best of the night. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
International Labour Day is celebrated every year on 1st May. This day is commemorated in appreciation of the contribution of workers to national development. It is also used to raise consciousness on the importance of promoting and protecting the rights of workers. This year, the national celebrations will be held at Mukabura Grounds, Fort Portal City, under the theme Improving Access to Labour Justice, a prerequisite for increased productivity. Join us on Wednesday, 1st May, as we bring you the celebrations live on UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Cheers to something refreshingly different. Putting the brakes on a fast-paced world. Slowing down. Just enough to stand out.